Hi everyone, welcome along. Well, I am going to get started. Now I will just quickly share my screen. Beautiful. Well, thank you very much for everyone for coming along today. We really appreciate it. I do just want to start off with some housekeeping before we move forward, and then of course we can get straight into the details. So first, and then we'll move on to what is InfoCare, just for any of our 1Place customers that haven't used the system before. We'll then talk a little bit about what is 1Place. We'll talk about our partnership. We'll then go into a live demo, and then we'll have time for questions. Now, meet the speakers. So I would love to introduce Verity Coleman. She is the Customer Success Manager for InfoCare Solutions and has been working quite closely with me and my team to bring this all to life for you. So thank you very much, Verity.
Hi, everyone.
And I'm Karen Menzies. I'm Vice President of Client Services for 1Place Childcare, and we're both really excited to take you through this today. Now, the first thing we wanted to do is just ask a few questions. Perfect. So now I'm going to pass over to our lovely Verity to talk a little bit about what is InfoCare.
Thanks, Karen. So as she says, what is InfoCare? So for those of you who are 1Place users and haven't seen or used InfoCare before, we are a student management system. Now, as a student management system, our primary goal is to manage your children. We do offer pre-enrollment all the way through to caring for your children before school and managing your wait list. So there are multiple different options there. If you're not familiar with our pre-enrollment option and you are already an InfoCare customer, please don't hesitate to pop us an email and we can talk to you more about Go Inquiry. Most important after this, of course, is helping you calculate and track your funding right to the dollar and the cent. Now, InfoCare does pride itself on its calculations around this. We also pride ourselves on working with 1Place and helping you with your health and safety needs.
And I'm now going to talk a little bit about what is 1Place. So really with 1Place, compliance is just the beginning. We digitize all of your open and close checklists, your child incident accident forms, as well as your staff, your learning environment audits, your self-assessments, and we put them into an application which is simple and easy for your team to use. And you're going to see a little bit of it later, as well as have continuous improvement and risk mitigation at the forefront. And that's where the task manager comes in. If there's anything negatively answered when we're completing our open and close checklist, we're able to create tickets or actions that go out to our directors or our internal support office to assist us to ensure that health and safety and compliance is at the forefront of what we do. We also have the information manager, which is our survey functionality. But today we're going to talk about our health and safety manager and how we integrate with InfoCare most importantly. And then all of those modules roll up to a reporting manager to give you visibility at a high level every day of what's being completed within your centre across one location or multiple locations as well.
So why digitize your processes? Without it, you're very limited on your visibility and accountability of staff. From filing, tracking, and working off paper, it can be really inefficient. So again, digitizing helps to combat this. By relying on paper, you do remain unable to scale your organization and identify any gaps and improvements. So that is really the main point of digitization, because you can combat all of that. So bring your A game. Ultimately, our goal as a partnership is to save you time with your admin. This then ultimately means that you can have more time with your tamariki. Karen is now going to take us through our live demo.
Beautiful, thank you so much. And I'm going to take you through the live system, and it is a demo system, so therefore there's no real data in here, but it'll just give you a bit of a view of what the system looks like for you and how you could potentially use it as well. And when a user comes into 1Place, of course, they've got their checklists and their tickets that are currently assigned to them. But today we're going to raise an ad hoc incident, illness, or accident. And all people need to do is they need to click the plus button, go through to the incident, select the room that they're currently in, because we want to report on the most granular level, create that incident, and then select their incident type. So of course in InfoCare, you've got your adult and your child information, and you can bring both that set of information through into the OnePlace health and safety incident module. So it could be an adult injury, a child injury, an adult illness. It could be an incident, being a business risk, parent misconduct, property damage, etc. Or it could be an injury on intake. And these are all customizable depending on which types you'd like to start with for your staff members as well. Now, if I was to select a child illness, I have a different page layout around fevers and temperatures. Dependent on, if, of course, it's an adult injury, I've then got specific information about the type of injury, the injured part of the body, etc. there as well. So the form changes depending on the type I select at the same time. So I'm going to just add some information here. The date of, anything that's pink is mandatory, and all of these fields here, being severity and type of injury, are customizable to your requirements. So it could be first aid minor harm, it could be notifiable injury, and then so therefore we link them directly to your policy documentation. So I'll say that this one's a sprain or strain. I'll add the time of injury. I'll circle the parts of the body that were injured, and I can of course change the colour there depending on severity. I'll then save that information and potentially just give some comments here around the description. Perfect. Now, if I'm on my iPad or my Samsung tablet, I'm able to actually talk to text. So if I've got a microphone function, I'm able to bring that through as well. Once I've added all those details in, and this is something you'd usually do first, I can add the people. In this particular case, I'm going to pick Olivia. And what you'll notice is that I had a drop-down box, so I'm able to search my child's or my staff member's name. Once I select them, I'm able to pull through their allergies, their date of birth, their parental email address, their phone numbers, their gender, and their parent name. Now, the great thing about this is you saw how quick and easy that happened for us. It's the forms are all customizable to the information that you want to gather, but also the mapping through from InfoCare. We can decide what fields we map through and which ones we don't. And that can be dependent on children and staff members as well. So therefore, allergies might not be what we want to see, but it could be helpful. So we can decide whether or not we pull that through, and we can decide whether it's the emergency contact information, parent 1 or parent 2 coming through here as well. And it's nice and simple and easy. I'm not going to take you through the back end of that today, but that's something that how that essentially works is you would email InfoCare and ask for your credentials, and you'll just CC in your client success manager here at OnePlace. Once they receive that back, and it's pretty quick from the discussions I've had with Verity, within the day or two you'll receive those. Of course, we'll receive them, we'll put them into the back end of the system, we'll talk through with you on a meeting which fields you'd like mapped through and which ones you wouldn't, and then of course we will have that all set up with you for you if you're an existing customer. If you're a new customer to OnePlace, we'll do that and more. We'll usually take an incident form that you already have. We'll customize the different types for you in the back end, which is also a pretty quick process. And then we'll come back to you and present it to you and get your feedback on that, as well as the mapping of the integration. Now, once I've filled in all my information, I can then get the parent to sign off. So right down at the bottom here, they might come into the centre later in the day. I can ask them to sign on the tablet. They can then save that into the record. Now, something that we are currently just about to start work on is the ability to send out a survey link. And it won't always be appropriate in all scenarios, but imagine you've already phoned the parent, you've already advised them. We're just about to work on a development where we can actually have the parent sign this particular record off-site. So we can send them a text with a link, or you could send them a text and you can have our link embedded in that. They can then sign on their way in, and of course you'll know which ones have or haven't been signed. When I go to submit that, I can decide that I'm sending that incident via email, I can then submit that particular form, and it will add in the emergency contact email address or the parent email address, whichever one we've mapped and selected should show through. We can also add additional information here. So hi Karen, please find the information, and we can make it friendly, and then of course send that particular email as well. Well, thanks for coming in today and having a chat with me about Olivia's injury. Please find the form here attached. Now, that's how it works within the application. We're then able to, of course, investigate it, set a categorization for second phase of notifications, as well as add commentary as that process continues on and we're discussing with the parents. So we've got all the information in one place. If you're a director or you're a support office staff member, you're also able to come through and see the reporting dashboard in real time. So these are all of the incident reports that have been unsigned, as well as the percentage of the injury types. These will go out to email for you. So you'll, of course, be able each day, week or month to get a view of your data and where you're having more injuries from a centre perspective and from an injury type perspective as well. Now, if I come into the Health and Safety Incident Register, due to the enablement of the People Manager and the integration from InfoCare to 1Place, I'm able to actually come down, find Olivia Newton-John, have a look at all the information, print the record here, and then, of course, I'm able to see all the information of Olivia, all of her information there, as well as all of the incident details in a nice, quick, easy form. And I can see what's being sent to the parent if I choose to do that. And I can also have this as a record for all time as well. So nice and easy and simple. We do all the legwork for you to get this set up. But from a end user perspective, we've got that one source of truth. They know the important information they should have. They don't need to fill as many fields in the form. They don't need to run away and find the date of birth because we've already got it in the system for them, which makes it simpler and easy and reduces their administration time as well. So Darren's on the call. He's from Kids Count. He has been beta testing for us. So he's saying the benefits include that regular synchronization of data. We work with you to decide on how often it should synchronize, more accurate reporting. So they're not having to type in the name of the child. And then, of course, some people spell it as their nickname. Some people spell it a little bit differently. And of course, it's improving communication. Now, all of the data is at the fingertips of the teachers as well as the directors and the administrators, and they can really get back to doing what they do best, developing our future leaders. So thank you very much for that, Darren. He's given us a lot of feedback as we've worked through the integration, which has been really meaningful to ensure that, of course, when it hits your centre, you're hitting the ground running because all that testing and that feedback has been done in a live environment as well. Perfect. Now, I did want to I found a few quotes that really speak to some of the things we're talking about today. So thinking about the daily grind of your centres, the daily grind of routine, and all of the things that your educators need to do every day. Now, if we really get clear and sure on our daily grind and our routine, it does then fuel best practice. And of course, automating those routines then reduce and manage risk. And then of course, we have happier staff, happier parents, and of course, happier children as well. And the last thing, of course, for both systems is the digitization of the records are securely stored online. They're really accessible, they're easy to see. And of course, we're wanting to reduce your headaches that come from paper records. You've got that additional visibility of your staff and making it simpler for them at the same time. Now, and I thought I put this here really just for me, just in case I was talking too fast and I wasn't hitting some of those points, but it really does mean you're reducing that double entry. You don't need to run around and find the information that you know you need on your incident forms, especially if they're queried, because it will come straight through from InfoCare. It's saving time because of course we are under pressure when incidents happen, and it's making those regular tasks that we need to do every day easier. And I like to call that admin simplification. We're saving time for our staff information as well if they're logging injuries and incidents at the same time. And of course, wrapping that all up, we're giving you peace of mind because whichever system you're in, you're confident that it's the same information that you're working with and you've got that information at your fingertips as well. Perfect. Now, any questions, and feel free, I know my team are on board to assist me, and I know Verity's there. Are there any questions? And I'll just hold for a minute or two just to let you guys type if there is anything that comes to mind. But in terms of setting up, there's just a $140 setup fee to get this working for you, and that's just really an administration fee for us to map it, for us to make sure that it's exactly as you need it to be. In terms of using 1Place, Cherie, I know you've asked pricing, and my assumption is that you're asking potentially the price of 1Place. Let me know if I've got that wrong. We are $99 a month per centre, and that is for all of your compliance requirements, from open and closed checklists, surveys for Net Promoter Score to your parents, that is your health and safety, that is your facilities maintenance. Anything that you can think of that's currently on paper that needs to be digitized, you can work with one of our client success managers and they can do that for us, for you. Currently, we do have a special where we are reducing the implementation fee and giving that away for all new clients that are coming from InfoCare. So don't hesitate to reach out to us on 1Place Childcare. More than happy to talk you through that and give you more information. And of course, give you a bit more of a wide administration on 1Place around checklists, facilities maintenance use, and survey functionality to parents as well. Probably some of the other FAQs are, of course, can we do it for adults and children? Most definitely. I might just see if I can take you through to that page. Here we go. Let me know. I'll just stop share and start share. So therefore, of course, right down the bottom, we have some, if I add a child to InfoCare, will it update? Yes, it most definitely will. So it will sync perfectly through from 1Place, and then therefore give you all that information. Of course, as I said before, you'll just email InfoCare and ask them for your credentials, and they'll be able to send that through ASAP for you. Thank you, Christine. Perfect. Well, definitely have a discussion with us. We're always open to making sure that that the system really adds value to your centres and your organisation, and more than happy to give you that information to be able to have that discussion with the director as well.
Absolutely. And Christine, just to add on to that as well, when you have a private demo with Karen or one of the team at 1Place, they take you through a lot of the reporting that can be provided through the application, and that often in itself provides directors and senior management an overview that they've never had before, as we talk about the shortcomings, being able to scale the organization, and that's something they just cannot get with paper-based. So my recommendation in terms of persuading the director would be to set up a demo with Karen or one of the team, and give them the opportunity to ask all the questions that.
Thank you, Verity. That's awesome. Now that is the end of our demonstration today. We really both want to say thank you very much for coming along. We will send out this recording for you so that you've got it, and you can take it through to your director or of course any of your staff.